listeners, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Just wanted to drop by to encourage you. If you're looking and been longing and believing God to send Mr. Right, your husband, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you, first of all, to just surrender your will and your desires to God. Surrender. So in 2003, back it up. In 2002, I believed God so much that I was like, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to get married soon. I felt it deep down in my spirit. I even would just sit and stare at my finger before I actually had a ring on there. I would just see it. I saw it. But the more I saw it and the more I felt it, the more I was convinced that, yes, my husband is coming soon. So fast forward to 2004 now. I met this guy. He lived in Jamaica, and I thought I was Stella. I thought I was Stella who got her groove back. I'm here flying back and forth to Jamaica like I lost my mind. And there was this one trip that I made that I stayed at my grandmother's house, and I was getting ready because he was coming to pick me up to take me on errands that my mom asked me to run for her. And when my cousin came out of the house, she looked and she started to inquire where I was going while I was dressed up, and I shared, and she was confused. She was like, well, who's going to take you? And I told her the person's name, and her eyes left its socket. And after she told me all of the dirt on this fella, my eyes left my socket. Girl, sister, he told me he had one child. Lies, he had 5. He told me he was single as a Pringle. Lies, he was married. His wife lived in New Jersey. What? And then to make it worse, the car that I was riding around with him in, it was his wife, right? Oh my gosh. So when she told me that, she went back inside the house, and I just waited. And as I waited, I recall having so much peace. In the Bible, it talks about having peace that surpasses all understanding. That peace that I had, it made no sense. But I still sat there with that peace. And if you knew me back then, in my teenage years, in my early 20s, I cried at the drop of a dime. But girl, I did not shed a tear. I did not cry. And when he pulled up, I got into the car. I didn't make a scene. I didn't start cursing, using curse words, foul language. I didn't act vulgar. I just calmly and politely asked that he put the car in park. And he did. And I started to read him his Miranda rights when it came to dating me. And he sat and I listened, and I just started going over, and to end the conversation, I said, or the monologue, because it was not much of a dialogue, to end the monologue, I said, if you ever see me in public, ever, don't look at me. Turn around and walk the other way. Don't even look at me. Just turn around and walk the other way. And as I let go of this idea of wanting to get married, I got out of the car and I closed the door. I never looked back, but I see to this day that I did look up, and I stretched out my hands as I was walking to my grandmother's house, and I said, God, I let go and I let you take control. God, I'm sick and tired of trying to find this husband. And what I did at that moment, I relinquished control and I allowed God to write my narrative, because I was controlling the narrative, right? And so unbeknownst to me, that day I met my husband, but I had no clue that it was him until a year later. Wildest story ever, where we saw God's and Jesus and the Holy Spirit's fingerprints, footprints, elbow, all that up in our story. But my thing to you, my word of encouragement to you is surrender. Surrender your will. Don't give up on hope. Do not despair. Don't get discouraged. But surrender your will, surrender your checklist, surrender your timing, surrender your thoughts, surrender all that concerns this Mr. Right. Let it go. Give it to God, and He'll give you something better than you could ever imagine. Fast forward, June 9th, 2007, I got married. And today is June 3rd, 2025. We're about to celebrate our 18th wedding anniversary. And I will be transparent. A few years into that marriage, I was like, God, it's me. Did I make a mistake? No, he didn't make a mistake. But what I learned later in 2019, I'm going to share with you now. So you run out. I have zero endorsements. I don't know Stormy, never met her. Stormy, if you watch this video, hey girl, hey. But I do encourage you to order this book. The book is powerful. It says it in this title, The Power of a Praying Wife. Order the book and don't just go through it. Go through it with a highlighter. Get a pen. Take notes in the sides, right? Document every time that you prayed, and you will see that your prayers will be answered in your husband before you get married. So I wish somebody gave me a cheat sheet, but I didn't get this book until 2019. My marriage is not perfect, but it is so blessed, so anointed, and we're so in love with each other. We understand that we are not perfect, but we love the one who is. So sister, let go, surrender your will to God. Go buy the book, start praying over your husband, change your prayer life. Stop praying, God send me a husband, because guess what? The devil hears your prayers and he's going to send some distractions. So stop praying about the same thing. Change your prayers. Start praying over the husband that God has already had prepared for you to meet. And let go of the control, of trying to control the narrative. Because honey, the devil is dirty. He will send you a guy with 5 kids who tells you he only had 1. He will send you a guy who is married who tells you he is single. He will send you a guy who has a car that's not even his car. Honey, he will send you a scrub. But God, the God I serve, he loves you way too much. His love for you is too deep, too long. So right now, I beg of you to surrender your control. Surrender. Don't give up on hope, but change your prayer. Be more strategic. And honey, Stormy is not lying when she says keep yourself together, because that's a whole nother conversation. But I love you. Be blessed. I wish to God someday that we could meet and you could tell me a testimony. And once you get the testimony, please drop a comment to share that I met my husband. So write this day down, write what I said, right? And you're going to see that God's about to blow your mind. Matter of fact, I want to invite to the wedding. Later. Bye.